If mild-mannered Clark Kent were in the market for a pair of running shoes, then the Ghost Max would probably be his weapon of choice. Because it isn't a shoe that's going to blow you away in any respect. In fact, it'll probably go under the radar, which it definitely has. But those of us who know that this is in fact one of the best max cushion shoes of the year. I was a little skeptical at first, like why in the world did they decide on the name Ghost? It doesn't particularly look scary fast. Maybe with all this foam you could sneak up on someone without them hearing you? It's not even that soft. Brooks weren't thinking about spirits and dead people. That'd be kind of creepy. What they were talking about, in my opinion, comes down to how the shoe moves. Like you saw at the top of the video, Ghost means to move somewhere smoothly, quickly, and quietly, because that's exactly what this shoe does. The midsole is an EVA-based foam called DNA Loft version 2. There is a version 3, which is also EVA-based, but nitrogen infused. I think using nitrogen gives a softer and squishier feel, so I wonder if they chose not to use it here to give it more of a natural stability. Or maybe they just wanted to distinguish it from something like their glycerin model. Having said that, the shoe does feel very stable. It's a neutral shoe, but you could see that it has a fairly wide base. It's got slightly raised sidewalls and a pretty strong heel counter to keep your foot in place. To be honest, I really like how it feels. I don't find my ankles rolling around too much in these shoes. I wasn't always sure though. On my first run, the initial bounce kind of reminded me of the Triumph midsole, so I was like, I don't know if I'm really gonna like this. But after about 5 miles or so, which is when the midsole started to break in, that harsh rebound feeling disappeared and it felt a lot smoother. It actually reminded me of the Clifton. You're probably asking, if I like stability so much, why didn't I just go for the GTS version of the regular Ghost? Well, aside from having slightly less foam, the only difference seems to be the higher sidewalls, because the midsole material seems to be the same. Let me know in the comments if I've gotten that completely wrong. Oh, and it's also got a much higher drop, which I don't think is my preference. Anyway, I'm purposely opting for the extra cushion these days. I'm trying to up my weekly mileage, but carefully. I don't want to end up getting hurt like last time. The Ghost Max also has glide roll rocker geometry, which again also reminds me of the Clifton. Combined with the soft midsole, that rocker provides the smooth, quick transition I like. The rocker doesn't feel quite as exaggerated as the Clifton, but it definitely helps me go through the daily miles. By the way, for a max cushion shoe, it feels way lighter than it is. This weighs 9.8 ounces, 277 grams for my men's US size 8.5. I really only notice that bulkiness toward the end of my run when my legs are getting tired. For example, I'll scuff my toe going around a corner, and that's when I'm reminded, oh yeah, I'm wearing a max cushion shoe. Otherwise, it's way more nimble than other shoes in this category. And you know what? It's surprisingly versatile. I've done easy runs, recovery runs, and tempo runs. The other day, I even took it out for some strides at the end of a run, and the shoe kept up. I'm telling you, in a pinch, this shoe can do it all. Not a lot of others can say that. And it's even got something for the tree hugger in all of us. This shoe is certified carbon neutral. You know, when a company says that, they probably sacrifice a little performance to get there. But Brooks delivered a really solid product without that compromise. Yeah, it's a little harder when the shoe is meant for speed, but hey, here they managed it. These shoes feel lighter on your feet and lighter in your heart. Now I can't forget to mention the step-in feel. It's really nice. The tongue isn't gusseted, but I had no problems with it moving around. It's fairly padded too, so no lace bite there either. But the one thing I really do want to point out in the upper are these lace eyelets. I complained about a particular shoe where the laces would just slip right through and it was really difficult to get a good lockdown. Well, these are the complete opposite. I don't know if it's because the eyelets are made out of plastic, but your laces aren't going anywhere. You just pull your laces tight and they stay put. It makes it much easier to get the right tension from the get-go, and you don't have to worry about your laces loosening up on the run. So thumbs up on that one. The outsole is pretty thick and durable, and I barely noticed any wear on the outer edge of my heel, which is usually where it shows up first. As long as the midsole holds up, I can see these being in my rotation for several hundred miles easy. Now there's one minor peeve that I have about the Ghost Max, and that's in the colorways. You know, a lot of these smallish American brands tend to fall short when it comes to looks, particularly on the men's side. I chose these black and orange ones because they were the least so. I don't know why, but they seem to associate max cushion with being an old fart. I think they forget that no one ever wants to look their age, like ever. But if I were Clark Kent and I wanted to get around smoothly and quickly without being noticed, I'd choose the Ghost Max. It looks slow, but it's deceivingly fast. Ride or run, let's get it done.